Hello, I'm Roger Stone for InfoWars. I'm here to report on chilling new developments in the tech left's war on free speech, on a real, free, and open internet, and on the alternative voices featured here. The very same sources of fact you've come to rely on here at Infowars.com and at thestonecoldtruth.com. Facebook, in accordance with its diverse, concerted, and strategic plan to eliminate fake news, has rolled out its latest bag of tools designed to censor the information that arrives in its users' newsfeed. Retweaked algorithms will now filter out clickbait stories that Facebook has determined leave out or exaggerate details. Other storylines that Facebook finds objectionable will be tagged with a disputed warning label. And what about those links to web pages that Facebook has determined have little substance or contain disruptive, shocking, or malicious advertisements? How, you may ask, will the company ensure that its global community isn't discomfited by inconvenient facts, uncomfortable commentary, and alternative opinions? Those will either be removed entirely or segregated perpetually at the bottom of the newsfeed, with very little chance of exposure or that anyone will read them. You see, this is the tech left's idea of free speech. Yes, it's chilling. For some time, and with accelerated urgency since the election of Donald Trump, we've been warning here at InfoWars about the pernicious campaign long employed by the moguls of Silicon Valley, Facebook, Twitter, Google, and YouTube, and their billionaire globalist mastermind, yes, the international criminal George Soros. It's been a relentless and well-financed effort to crush dissent, to kill the liberty movement, and to smother the Donald Trump presidency. But this war is by no means new. It's been going on since it became clear that harnessing the internet was essential to consolidating their political control and achieving even more power over the people. Of course, leftist elites and their corporate allies have understood the truth about the internet from the very beginning. Control the medium, and you will control the message. They've never lost sight of that objective. Ruthless, persistent, and ever strategic, and totally committed to their total victory, some of the world's most influential elites immediately went to work shaping internet policy to ensure that the political outcomes that they favor would be successful. And so, the tech left's creative use of online movement building, coupled with millions in liberal foundation dollars and with the secret blessing of the bosses of Silicon Valley, ensured that they have largely dominated the online political dialogue during the Obama years. It was no accident then when in early 2015, President Obama passed and signed rules regulating the internet for the first time in American history. Leftist foundations were the primary financiers. George Soros and the Ford Foundation poured nearly $200 million into the coffers of the so-called open internet advocates. But they too were joined by the Silicon Valley monopolies like Google and Facebook, who recognized that regulation, as further leveraged of their own monopoly control of the internet, was crucial. Self-serving, symbiotic, and yes, strategic, they guaranteed to boost their already obscene wealth while advancing their godless, atheistic, globalist agenda. It helped, of course, that companies like Google owned the Obama White House, with Google officials visiting the Obama White House more than 425 times, visiting with more than 258 Obama administration officials and executives, spinning through the Google-Obama revolving door during his 2 terms. And then came 2016 and the election of Donald Trump. Nothing before had ever exposed the left's open internet charade for the fraud that it really is. In the closing months of the election, Silicon Valley companies, prodded on by their leftist, activist, and liberal foundation allies, launched an all-out assault on Donald Trump and his supporters, banning Twitter users, censoring Facebook content, and even allegedly manipulating Google's search results and Google autocomplete to favor Hillary Clinton and malign Donald Trump. So Google and Facebook waded directly into the news process itself, declaring themselves as the arbiters of truth and rolling out their new fact-check features to debunk news stories that were critical of Hillary or that diverted from the official Google Soros globalist narrative. And then, despite a tsunami of opposition, not just the $2 billion, but Clinton campaign war machine funding beyond belief, they also had the tech left, its corporate fellow travelers, and the mainstream media, as well as their deep state allies, all focused on defeating Donald Trump. With the manufactured Russian-Trump collusion narrative, a scandal for which there is no evidence and no truth, but most especially we see it in their campaign to fight fake news, which now can only be defined as anything that the tech left disagrees with, including, almost assuredly, this very broadcast. Although their openness has always been nothing more than a clever rhetorical head fake, there was a time when radical netroots progressives were careful to pay lip service to the so-called open internet as an essential tool for ensuring a free press and political transparency. The election results changed all of that. And so too did the onset of Trump derangement syndrome. This was apparent in the protests outside the FCC headquarters only weeks ago and over the previous weekend, on Mother's Day no less, when professional, radical, and often violent agitators from the left showed up outside Chairman Ajit Pai's family home to harass and intimidate him into stopping the process of repelling Obama's assault on a free and open internet. Turns out, even before the age of Trump, many of these tech-left liberty crushers weren't always so careful to camouflage their true intentions. As Google Chairman Eric Schmidt once admitted, "We're not arguing for censorship. We're arguing just to take it off the page, make it harder to find." You see, his aim, he once said, was to make computers wield the ability to detect malicious, misleading, and incorrect information, and essentially have you not see it. And Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg has claimed proudly to want to develop, quote, the social infrastructure for community. We need to evolve systems for collective decision-making. Collective decision-making. Isn't that the whole point of democracy? Matt Wood, founder of the Free Press, was quite blunt back in 2009 when he said that the group's goal was to move ahead towards a new kind of journalism, the result of which would be a marked shift to the political left. While the year before he opined that any serious effort to reform the media system would have to be necessarily part of a revolutionary program to overthrow the capitalist system itself. Doesn't sound like a Democrat to me, at least not a small d Democrat. It's a foundational principle of America that each one of us has a voice, that our God-given right, enshrined, preserved, and protected by the U.S. Constitution, cannot be taken away from us, except by the concerted efforts of the globalist tech left, who are fiercely determined to do exactly that. They want to kill the liberty movement, destroy the presidency of Donald Trump, and install another globalist in the White House. These forces arrayed against us care nothing about individual liberty, the free flow or exchange of ideas, diversity of opinion, or a free and open internet. They care nothing of media freedom. Just the opposite. They are terrified of them, but they are also engaged and ever vigilant. So we must also be. This is Roger Stone for InfoWars.
MycoZX is back in after 5+ 4+ months sold out. Talk about next level probiotic. It's the anti-fungus, anti-yeast, latest technology, 4.8 stars. It's been sold out for months, big waiting list, limited amount because it's so hard to get the compounds and to have it be California standards. Nobody's got something that's good. Save 30% off of Myco ZX and get the gut health support pack when you get it with the Biome Defense 50 billion live in each pill probiotic. Myco ZX contains 7 of the world's most powerful organic and well-crafted ingredients designed to attack and melt away the membrane of yeast and fungal organisms. Start fighting back against hidden yeast and fungus with Myco ZX at InfoWarsLife.com before it sells out again. 10% off when you choose auto ship. It's kind of embarrassing to get family and crew members on that, have irritable bowel and Crohn's type stuff that didn't exist 50 years ago. Now it's epidemic. But I'm getting ready to have a bunch of folks go ahead and come on air and tell you what it did for them, because regardless, you can't lose your funding the operation. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139.